Chemical sector is 35 to 40 billion industry in India, and the Indian agrochemical market is segmented into fertilizers, adjuvants, pesticides, plant growth regulators, and the application, that is what you can say, crop based and non crop based. India is one of the most prominent exporters of the agrochemicals across the world, and also it is having a lot of export oriented units. So there is a huge surge of production of the agrochemicals which is happening actually, and this is having an impact on the health of human, animals, and nature and land resources. So to overcome the problem of lack of righteous, nutritious elements actually for proper growth of crops, there's a very low awareness of the impact of the agrochemicals. There's also a push from industries that more of agrochemicals should be used because the yield will be better, yield will turn out to be better. The continuous and increased use of agrochemicals has an adverse effect, as I highlighted, on humans, animals, and nature as a whole. Now, the toxicity level of the agrochemicals, what we have is very harmful not only to the workers in the manufacturing process, but also on the farmer, on the soil, on the end consumer. The Central Insecticide Board of India has categorized agrochemical toxicity levels based on the labeling system using red, yellow, blue, green, yet red being the most toxic element and green being the less toxic. So most of the red labeled products are banned abroad. They are banned abroad actually, so they are not considered for abroad. And whereas those products are sold in India in turn. And in India, it is estimated that 25% of the total amount of agrochemicals are counterfeit products, and the quality and efficacy of these products differ from original product, which can lead to reputational damage. So there may be what you can say, the reputational damage which may arise for the companies. The agrochemicals companies need to add barcodes or identifying technologies to their product packaging to allow the end use to check the authenticity. Since the India is a multilingual country, the company they have to publish the usage instruction in the multiple language. There are company A and B, and these are the listed companies actually here. They are top 1000 listed companies. They are engaged in the production of agrochemicals. Company A has been looking for opportunities to comply with recently launched and evolving guidelines on ESG in India, while Company B, on the other hand, has just focused to increase the revenue and profit. In December 2022, Company A made decision to eliminate red labeled products from its portfolio and to increase the research and development spending to safeguard itself from the market shift due to the new regulatory norms. In 2022, it also discontinued the yellow labeled product, so even yellow labeled product also discontinued. Company A is also planning to incur small expenditure to improve the back-end system and provide all its product a unique labeling system, and that is user friendly, and what you can say, it is interactive in nature. At the end of the spectrum, the 14% of the B's top selling products were derived from the red and yellow labeled products. Initially, A is phasing out all toxic items, which has affected its revenue almost 8%. And however, what happens is there are stringent norms. So, company A has be cushioned from the regulatory changes actually here for the. It may face a potential downside. So in future, they may ban A products. Company B has witnessed 9% on year growth in revenue from the last financial year, and they are planning to increase the production of best selling product like say insecticide DDT and categorize it as a red label by the Central Insecticide Board. The Company B has recently been approached by the regulatory authority for an investigation for the products, which includes the performing additional tests and studies to testify that its products has no adverse effect. Now, what are the questions actually here? One side, one company A is removing all the toxic product. One side company B, which is like say not removing the toxic product. So, what will be the implication? What audit approach will be using actually here? What would be the reporting requirement for each of the two companies? Which company has absorbed the impact of possible future regulatory changes? What are the steps taken by that company for complying the regulatory standards? What would be the consideration by the auditors of the company A and B in the audit of the financial statement? So three questions are there. First of all, what is your reporting requirement for each of the two companies? And which company has absorbed the possible future regulatory changes? Obviously, it should be A. What are the steps to be taken by the company for complying the regulatory standards? And what would be the consideration of auditors of company A and B in the audit of the financial statement? Now, this is the query actually here. So let us look into the answer. So basically, what is happening is that the company is facing a situation of such sort actually. So how do you deal with this kind of the case study? That's the thing here. First of all, company A has absorbed the impact of the regulatory changes actually here. Whatever regulatory changes are there, the company has absorbed the impact of the regulatory changes. That's the thing here. Okay. So first thing is that the basically both the companies A and B are among the top 1,000 listed companies. Hence, these companies are required to provide a reporting under the BRSR reporting, that is business responsibility and sustainability reporting, BRSR reporting, in accordance with the 9 principles of the national guidelines actually here, okay, where there is a compliance, national guidelines on the regulatory compliance by the company. So as required by the SEBI. So you have to comply with the 9 principles of NGBRC. NGBRC requirement is there actually here. So all the 1,000 top listed companies are required to comply with that. Okay. The company A has absorbed the impact of regulatory changes. It has decided to eliminate the red labeled and yellow labeled products from its portfolio of toxic nature. And because it has increased the expenditure on R&D to meet the new regulatory norm, it has also incurred expenditure for improving a labeling system which would help the users to know about the nature of the product. What is the nature of the product? So there's a transparency. Now all these steps are taken by the company A. Company A has taken all these steps actually. That's the thing here. Company A is trying to meet the requirement of the principle 2 by making R&D. Further, it has eliminated the red labeled and yellow labeled product from portfolio. The principle 2 relates to requirement of business to provide goods and services in a manner that is sustainable and safe. So you should provide goods which are sustainable and safe. So by adopting a friendly bar coded packaging labeling system, the company is adhering with the requirement of principle 9, which states that business should engage with and provide value to the consumers in a responsible manner. Steps taken by the company to inform its consumer about the safe and responsible usage of product falls within its domain. Since the toxic agrochemicals are also harmful to the workers in their manufacturing process, their discontinuation boards for the workers in the company A, in line with the principle 3, which states that the business should respect and promote the well-being of all the employees, including their value chains. By discontinuing the products which are harmful to the soil, company A is meeting the requirement of principle 6, which states that business should respect and make effort to restore the environment. So company A is complying the regulatory requirement, whereas 14% of the B's revenue is derived from the yellow and red labeled product. In fact, B is planning to increase its production of red labeled products, insecticide DDT, so which has been categorized by the Central Insecticide Board. The auditor of company B would have been kept in mind the requirement of SA 250 in this regard. Non-compliance of laws and regulation may result in fines, litigation, and other consequences for the entity. So it will lead to other consequence of the entity, which may have a material effect on the financial statement. it can result in material misstatement. The Central Insecticide Board has already launched its investigation of the product of the company, and all these factors would be taken into consideration by auditor of the company B. The auditor of company A and B need to obtain the audit evidence regarding compliance of laws and regulation. Audit procedures have to be designed accordingly. Auditor of company A can obtain assurance from the regulatory compliance by the company. Fall of revenue by 8% in 1 year is not a matter of concern to them, as it is a transitory phase. However, auditor of company B would also have to take into consideration the requirement of SA 570 as a going concern, which is as a non-compliance with the regulatory requirement can result into claims from such proceedings which the company is not able to satisfy. They are not able to satisfy. That is why company B stands to be in a very risky position. Okay, so this is how you have to highlight under what you're reporting BRSR, that is business responsibility and sustainability reporting. Okay, fine. I'll see you in the next video.